Hey,
Hey,
Jodi Day.
Jodi Day, and we still haven't done the Jodi song.
Oh, we still haven't. No way.
So
One day.
tomorrow maybe. I'm having my streaming day off on Sunday, so maybe we can find some. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. We can try. We can try. Oh, Valhalla. Do you think Valhalla would like to be helping us reading the Jodi Arias Manifesto?
Valhalla. Yeah. Why don't you jump on in here?
Yeah.
We have a Jodi Arias Manifesto you can join us with.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to send him an invite. I don't care if he wants to or not. Chat, make him want to or force him. Today I just woke up. Why? Like you say it as if it matters, Val. Oh, let's see.
So Jodi, so if you guys don't know, Jodi Arias did an interview, and so what she says is, it was brought to my attention that the interviewer's questions will not be included as part of the sound feed if and when it airs. So that was interesting why she thought the interviewer's questions were going to be on. But prior to this discovery, I was already moderately concerned with how my words will be edited, spliced, and portrayed. But my level of concern has risen considerably in light of this new information. So then she goes on to write a manifesto that is 36 pages long. This is Sarah Boone quality stuff, guys. So we're going to go over this.
Oh, maybe an hour. Yeah,
maybe an hour.
Sure, Val. We promise we will only have you on here for an hour.
So that regardless of how they wish to spin it, this is factual, or what is factual, and will be available to the public via the internet, people. This is 2008, I think. Internet's still kind of new. And other approved websites. So websites are on the internet, Jodi.
Yeah.
It'll be on the internet and other websites. That's what she says.
I mean, yeah. Now, when I found out this I had no idea she wrote a manifesto. And the moment it was said in the trial, oh, I need to find this. And I found it. Yes, well, this was right after Al Gore invented it. Yeah,
these details set forth below are not only regarding Travis, but a whole host of other matters surrounding me. So I don't know what we're going to get into.
I have no idea. I read the first paragraph and then, oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. So people, if you have the Twitters, whatevers, share it. You have my Twitter handle here. I posted it. Share it. You don't want to. Frick! I forgot to.
No Rumble today.
Yeah, I forgot.
Hey, Wendy H. Oh, by the way, Valhalla and Wendy H will be joining me this evening too, with potentially criminal Sean, as I build Nick's studio out of Lego.
Yeah.
Be a good time.
Yeah, I took a broom and then just raked all the crap out, and then I took a picture.
It sent me a picture.
Oh,
I asked him for a picture because I don't know what his setup looks like, other than what we see in the behind him. So he's like, "Well, hang on, let me do some cleaning first," and then he sent me.
There might have been a bottle or two hanging around.
I don't know if Lego has liquor bottles, so we're going to be creative with that.
Ero. Oh!
She make it. Ooh, that's you.
Wins Clotho over at my place. Thank you for becoming a member. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. You now have access to all my members-only stuff. It is it's not hours. We are talking 50, 60 hours of members-only content, and I publish every now and then, and I have members-only streams and stuff like that. And you also will have access to my Discord. So yeah, and for you others who still aren't members, $3 a month.
Terrific.
For hours and hours of content. They went away. Dave, where'd you go? Where'd you go, Dave? I think Dave went. Oh, I know what Dave is out doing.
Definitely. That's what I'm doing. Actually, so I've decided with free time without streaming, one of the things my wife and I love to do is backpacking. And I've been winter backpacking a few times, but I don't think she has. So I'm right now currently setting up all of my gear as like a bug out bag. So as soon as we're due for a big snowfall, and so we're going to watch the weather. And as soon as there's a national forest that we're going to go hiking, as soon as we get dumped down by like 2 feet, which is going to happen in the next couple of weeks, then we're going to hit the ground and go backpacking. So that's what I've been doing. No jet skis for me. It's too cold.
No, no, you're out say. Oh, how's your sailboat doing? Or Titanic 3, your kid's sailboat.
That thing is a disaster. So we ended up. That was a couple of years ago. We ended up more or less finishing the project, and but now his stanchions keep breaking, so he'll be out sailing, and then his mast will just fall over, and then we come back and rig it. He's out sailing, and then it falls over the other way, and so that boat's a disaster. But
I mean, you can get the small 10-footers for. I mean, they don't cost that much. I mean,
it's a nice little project. I'm trying to teach him to fix things instead of replace them.
Flux gave you her viewers. Flux.
Hey, welcome, Fluxians. Welcome.
Welcome, Fluxians.
Hang on, I need to. Is it Fluxian? Is that the appropriate moniker? I feel like
I have no idea.
Let's see. I got to scroll back up.
I don't know. The Scissor Sisters? I don't know.
Hey, Flexians. Welcome all. I'm sure you had fun over at Minecraft Mornings with Flux. Mine is the biggest, by the way, still, so that's good. I'm happy to hear that.
Fluxonites. Flux paints. The Pants are Prison Squad.
Fluxians. I like Fluxians.
Ask Flux about her shower incident. Flux, I'm sending you the link. You need to get on here and tell us all about your shower incident. I'm very interested for educational purposes.
Yes. Unlike most Jodi streams, where we watch videos, there's no video today. We're talking all day. So you guys jump on in, Flux. You can read along with us. Oh, by the way, she hasn't changed the names of any individuals in her manifesto either.
Oh.
She has just redacted last names, except for Trevor's, of course, she says. And
that makes it so much harder. Yeah. And for you who recently joined, we are reading Jodi Arias Manifesto, quote, in case I get famous, end quote.
But then, okay, but there's so many contradictions. So first of all, she says that this is going to be made available on the internet and other websites. And then, so she says, I've not changed the names of any individuals mentioned. I am not using their last names, however. And then the next paragraph, the interviewer, whose name will remain anonymous.
The interviewer, as in the person who will later. I mean, it was published, the interview. Why? You don't need to get. I mean, reporters' names. You really don't have to redact. I mean, all right, but what do you say if shall we start?
I'm already to the top of page 2 because the rest of it I've kind of like skimmed through and just talked about.
Yeah, but I think for the audience sake, this is not us reading quietly while streaming. We might want to show it to you.
All right, fair enough.
So, the Jodi Arias Manifesto.
I see. I can't do a Jodi voice. That's why I feel like we need a woman up here.
There, that is as big as I can make it. A female voice. Following a recent no.
Can't do that.
No.
We have
yeah, Sal has work on a Saturday.
Yeah, I think he made that up.
Yeah. Okay, Mrs. Flux is heading to work soon, and I gotta make her dinner. Aw, you're such a good woman, Flux.
I agree with Malcolm. Please never do that again, Nick.
Yeah. I'm not good with impressions. I do know that Sal makes a impression of my voice, and that was hilarious. But okay, let's try here.
Following a recent interview, it was brought to my attention that the interviewer's questions will not be included as part of the sound feed when, if it airs. Prior to this discovery, I was already moderately concerned with how my own words will be edited, spliced, and portrayed, but my level of concern has risen considerably in light of this new information. I realize, too, that this may be the case with every subsequent interview, regardless of the broadcast station or publication. Therefore, I am posting here every detail, 36 pages, from start to finish, uncut, unfiltered, and unaltered, so that regardless of how they wish to spin it, what is factual will be available to the public via the internet on this and other approved websites. What was this site that it was originally posted on? Do we know?
I have no idea. I just found it on.
Ridiculous.
I found it on a search. Jodi Arias Manifesto PDF, and there it was.
Oh yeah, Vielhammer does have an excellent lady's voice. He really does.
Yeah.
So do you want to do we can like alternate paragraphs if you want.
Yeah, we can. The details set forth herein are relevant with regard to not only Travis Alexander, but also to a host of other matters surrounding me that have recently become a subject of speculation both on the internet and among a network of people. Certain of these details were never intended to be made known to the public. Yeah, you actually really try to not make anything known.
Right.
Under normal circumstances, they were intended to be kept private between myself and the individuals with whom they concern. What?
Someone tell her we've already seen all of her details. That's great.
But since much of my life has now been thrust under a microscope, you've been thrusted. And not by a microscope. I feel it necessary to set some records straight.
I agree to an interview for one reason and one reason only, for my voice to be heard. As a photographer, I am accustomed to being behind the camera, but being behind the camera, not in front of it. But the desire to be heard outweighed the desire to remain in my comfort zone and therefore compelled me to get uncomfortable.
Did you use use?
This is
use
Sarah
lube for
Boone.
that?
We've been
Yeah.
saying so many times that this is very Sarah Boone-ish. Like there's a lot of similarities between these two.
Yeah. Another reason for this composition is to address a few of the paltry and uneducated opinions that have been expressed by otherwise seemingly intelligent people. By doing so, I hope to answer many questions as well as uproot a lot of current speculation. Perhaps it will also serve to give perfect strangers a better idea of the kind of person I am. Oh, we know. Although it's probable that any interested parties up to this point have formed their own notions, even if they have never made a sincere effort to truly get to know me. Well, here's the thing, Jodi. Your last boyfriend died by stabby, stabby, shooty, shooty.
Yes. I have not changed the names of any individuals mentioned. I have, however, refrained from using last names, except, of course, Travis's, and have used initials instead. I have not mentioned any names in addition to the ones that have already been presented to me by the interviewer, by detectives, or through recurring topics on the web. All others that are in connection with the situation, even in part, will for now remain anonymous, although their roles may be mentioned. So that's why the interviewer is anonymous, I guess.
Yeah. The interviewer, whose name will remain anonymous, remarked, quote, "It sounds like you two were very much in love," end quote, in reference to Travis and me. A bold statement, I thought, and I almost responded with, quote, "It sounds like you're looking for a dramatic story," end quote. Sorry, but I held my tongue, as he had been very polite and tactful. I could understand how he might draw such a conclusion after having perused the photo album I had created on...
Look through.
Oh, perused, okay. The photo album I created on MySpace entitled, quote, "In loving memory of Travis Alexander," end quote. Oh.
Does MySpace still have an archived? Is there like an archived website of MySpace, I wonder? Oh, it still exists, doesn't it?
Or off.
Oh, I missed you too, Stray.
Dun, dun, dun.
She's ridiculous, and I love it.
Let's see here. Web archive. Let's see if it's still there. Wayback
more
Machine.
like Sarah Boone is like Jodi, better than the other way around. But we've been reading about Sarah Boone's letters, and this is very reminiscent of that. And the order in my mind, Sarah Boone came first.
I'm looking at her archived MySpace page.
Does she have one?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to
It's
share that.
no, it's archived. I will give it to you in the private chat.
Okay, I got to see this.
But I don't find in loving memory stuff.
Jodi Arias blurb about me. Okay, let me see if I can share. Yeah, okay. I forgot how outdated MySpace looks. Plugins aren't supported. Nice. We have do you want to pull it up?
Yeah.
Real quick? Here, we'll just show it real quick. So this is her archived MySpace page. Female, 28 years old. Let's see here. Jodi Arias's blurb about me. Oh, she's open-minded and artistic, talented, kind. She's very kind, people. She's very compassionate and loving as well. She's playful. Oh, well, we know how playful she can be. Adventurous. Reverent. Oh my God, who uses that word? Paintyourreality.com. Does paintyourreality.com? Fine Arts. jfineart.com. Oh God. Okay.
No, Paint Your Reality. Nope.
No. Let's see. Jodi Arias' friends comments. Aw, July 10th. Happy birthday, Jodi. 2008 from Adam. I bet this thing got archived real quick.
Fine Art has been redirected to another page.
Oh, she's got a lot of Bibles. She got Trump. Why we want you to be rich. Donald Trump and who was that other guy? Robert T. Well, shoot. I didn't want to do that.
The Isaiah Effect.
As a Man Thinketh. I want to read that book. The Flower of Life. Is that her vagina? The Mystery of Love.
Does she have music?
Music? Let's see here. She's single, ladies. Or gentlemen, rather. Does she have music? Movies?
No.
Her interests? Oh my God, look at all of her interests. Oh my, well, she's a very interesting lady, right? Look at all these. We have
astral projection.
Angels. Astrology, beauty, books, butterflies, camping, capitalism. Oh God, just everything. She just went through the list and was like, yep. She's interested in earth and education and energy and environmentalism.
Entrepreneurialism. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Free enterprise. Genealogy. Golden rule. Labyrinths. Yeah. She just picked
Jamba
everything.
Juice. She really is interested in Jamba Juice. I mean, that's clear. It made the list.
Yeah.
I don't see death.
No.
I see Dead Sea Scrolls, but no death. Murder? Is she interested in murder? Music?
No.
Nope, no murder. Knives? No knives. Guns. Is she interested in guns? Nope, no guns. So I think she lied on this.
Yeah.
What about jealousy?
Hey, Phoenix Fire, been member for 2 months. Hello. Good to have you here.
This thing is great.
She wants to meet the Dalai Lama. No, she has the wrong gender and wrong age, allegedly.
No true crime, but definitely truth. Temple, but no temptation.
10 Commandments. Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. She's interested in people, but what about the people?
Yeah.
Unaliving them, maybe? Okay. So there's her MySpace page. What were we talking about? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
Are knives listed within Jodi's? No, I didn't see knives.
Nope, no knives. Nothing that she would use eventually to unalive Travis.
Okay.
Peruse the photo album. Yeah, on the MySpace entitled "In Loving Memory of Travis." That's where we were.
Yeah, that was. But I didn't see that.
Nope.
Blah blah blah. Which displays just a handful of our many travels and excursions. The truth was, I held back a lot in our relationship. No. You went. At least Travis went in deep. Never fully giving my heart over. Prior to dating Travis, I was in a 4-year relationship with a wonderful man, Daryl B., with whom I fell flat on my face in love. Daryl and I had different long-term goals, which we were both aware of from the beginning, and which eventually led us down separate paths. So I approached a relationship with Travis with a bit of reservation, which I think never fully melted away. It is common knowledge that loving someone and being in love with that person can mean two different things entirely. Travis and I cared for each other and loved each other very much, but if we were ever in love, it was short-lived. In her dad's interview, he mentioned that Jodi racked up so much credit card debt, she had a personal bankruptcy, and they had to sell the house, her and Daryl. At least what her dad says.
Yeah, but I thought he owned it outright. So I feel like this is a lie. Because he testified that he owned it outright. She just lived there.
Yeah.
So she's like, you just want drama.
Yeah.
I met Travis in September 2006 at the Rainforest Cafe at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. I did not know there was a Rainforest Cafe in Vegas, but now I kind of want to go there. He walked right up to me and said, "Hi, I'm Travis." We shook hands, exchanged the usual niceties. But in that moment, his was just another name and face that I had to remember. I met hundreds of people that weekend as we and thousands of others had decided upon that place to attend an international convention. What a stupid way to phrase that. As I left the restaurant,
Erin Olivia has been members with you for 7 months. I can use my free post. Here it is, lol. And it's a new month, and I gifted. I have 10 free memberships to gift out. I can give 5 at a time, so I gifted 5. Can you do that too, Dave?
Oh, probably.
I gave mine to Jess Rubery, Chelsea, Kelt, Toila Carissa, Plant Agent. Welcome.
Can I give my memberships? Let me see here.
Justin Smith, member for 5 months on your channel. Welcome back to YouTube's. Yeah, you press that $sign and that. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I could do that. Okay, cool. All right, I gifted memberships to Moni G, Becca Lynn, Lynn Dalton, Haley Wolf, and Pernilla.
Yay.
All right. Welcome back to the fold, people.
And Christine Fortunato, happy birthday, Dave.
It's not my birthday. Jung decided she was going to post that it was my birthday today because she wants to celebrate it, and I don't care enough to. You guys missed it.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Dave. If people want to celebrate you and you don't want to, they don't care. They will do it.
I know. Well, that's why I didn't want people knowing my actual birthday, because then they would like insist that I do a birthday stream or something, because they don't care if I want to celebrate it or not. Damn it! So I didn't tell anybody my birthday. But I could tell you now, since it passed. It was February 26th. Y'all missed my birthday.
Yeah. And speaking of birthdays, I have mine coming up. And,
yes, you do.
Yeah, and it is live, and I have to show this in 69 days.
I saw that the other day. I was like, I wonder if you got the date right. And then I looked at the title, and I was like, oh, it's his birthday stream. Okay.
Yeah. So May 10th, it's not my birthday, but it's the closest available for me. It is a Thursday, I think. May 10th is Friday. So Friday, May the 10th. And yeah, because I like to be celebrated.
The chat might remember, but I might not be around. So we'll see by the time the year comes around.
What?
You guys can just celebrate by yourselves.
Oh, you might get the itch sooner or later.
I know.
And who knows? Maybe Jodi will be around.
Yeah, we still might be streaming Jodi in a year from now. Oh, it's definitely gonna happen. Actually, you guys will see a lot of me probably next week because James Crumbly is starting.
Yep.
I'm not streaming it live, but I'll definitely be talking about it.
Mm.
And then I'll be on Nick's birthday stream maybe if I get an invite.
Yeah, sure.
Ooh,
yeah, sure.
I still have the backdoor access, so I don't need an invite. I just show up.
Phrasing.
Actually, I think I asked you if you were doing a stream last night, mainly because I was just gonna like pop in the background. But that never materialized.
Yeah. I did one really early in the morning because we had to celebrate Virgilio Mendes is free. That's the young man who was subjected to a terrorist stop in Florida.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
did you notice they're using my video in the article?
yeah, I know. I noticed. They're using your video. So, yeah, you're getting a bunch
National
of views
News
there, I hope.
article has a link to my video.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I forgot I chat as both of you and me.
Yeah.
Yes, Nick will be doing the interview with Jodi.
Yeah. Yes, Dave has backdoor access. Oh.
Yeah, MLS is all over that article too because the way the thumbnail, when you post the thumbnail stream, it has my little logo here, and then it has like the name of the video, and then it's got like the logo up in the other corner, and it's got like MLS over everything, right, in this big national article.
I mean, you were. I don't know if anybody else actually posted the raw video.
Yeah, that's why I think because Steve Gosling was saying I'm the only one with a full video up, so unedited, like there's no alters, there's no cuts or anything. So that's probably why they linked to me.
Yeah, that's good. But more of that, you get views, maybe an ad income or two from that one. So that's good.
I get a lot of views constantly. I still get people commenting on different older videos and stuff. And so the whole reason I created, we're going on a tangent, is was to like market my law firm. Originally, I created this channel for that. And then I got like nobody from it. And so then I just started streaming trials, and I still got nobody from it. After I stopped, I get calls now to my office with prospective clients and retained clients now from this YouTube channel. So like the whole reason I started it, now that I've stopped, it's starting to kind of come around. So that actually might make me stream more. Anyways, we were on a tangent for a second. Let's see. But as I left the restaurant with my friends and walked through the casino, Travis made a point to walk next to me and keep me engaged in conversation. This was no intention. Oh, there was no intentional magnetic attraction. What? There was no. Oh, I'm sorry. No initial magnetic attraction that I could feel, but it was that short time we discovered a few common interests: traveling, the UFC. What is UFC? Is that Ultimate Fighting Competition? Is that what that is?
Yep.
The San Francisco 49ers and the desire to create an amazing life. Oh my God. Okay. The desire to create an amazing life. Nick, I don't know anyone else other than Jodi and Travis apparently that have a desire to create an amazing life. These are the only two in the world.
Yeah. And no initial magnetic attraction that she could feel. She felt something because very, very early on, she blew him and had anal. So, I mean,
you needed to get just a little closer, and then that magnetic attraction would hit.
Yeah.
It was clear that he had. It was clear, right? He didn't say. It was just clear that he had read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie a time or two.
I bet he is overjoyed of this mentioning. That will sell books.
I know. He wanted to. I kind of want to read it now. He wanted to
Yeah.
know all. He wanted to know all about me, and as human nature would have it, I enjoy talking about myself. Really, you
That's
think,
unique.
Jodi? We
That's
have
unique.
34 more pages of you talking about yourself, Jodi. I didn't know she was fluent in Spanish. I wonder if this is a little puffery or if she actually is. But when he discovered that I was fluent in Spanish, he announced that he could give instructions on how to pee in a cup in Spanish. Okay.
What?
Which he had learned to do in a previous job where he had tested people's urine for drugs. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I said, let's hear it. And he pronounced, oh my God. And he proceeded to give me a step-by-step instructions with near perfect fluency. Well, all right. I thought she was gonna like say it in Spanish. I was gonna have to say
Oh, that would have been amazing.
That's what I was anticipating.
Hearing you recite that in Spanish would have been
I would have gotten Irish up here because there's no way that was gonna happen.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
Oh, it wasn't until my friends and I returned to our hotel room that night, and one of them said, quote, Jodi, I think Travis likes you. She was 28 at the time. Jodi, I think Travis likes you. Okay.
Okay. Now, just to be a little fair, I started like approaching my now wife, and I had someone on my side wingmanning me, and then I incorporated a friend of hers to wingman her on the other side. And we're like in our 40s, right? So, be like, oh, it's the things that you do. It's fine. I'll let this one pass.
I mean, my current relationship, she approached me, and I didn't know better, and I couldn't get away, and yeah, it worked out fine. My earliest relationships were more or less woke up hungover, looked beside me, yeah, good enough.
That's not how it went. That was the one prior.
Oh. All right. That I given our interaction any further thought. And it wasn't until several months following that night that we began dating. At which time I asked him about it, and he said from the moment he had first approached me, he had an agenda. On the final day of the convention that weekend, during one of the sessions, we were listening to a speaker when Travis gently nudged me with his elbow. I looked over, he was showing me in his journal where he had written me a question. What is your favorite part of the convention so far? I pondered the question for a moment, remembering a few of the most moving speeches I've ever heard made on stage that very weekend. But that wasn't it. I knew that even if I never saw Travis again, he had made the experience of that weekend more fun and interesting than I could have expected. So in the spirit of honesty and spontaneity, I lifted the journal from his lap and the pen. It's not missing an E, it's a pen. From his hand and wrote underneath the question, meeting you, with a big smiley face next to it. Didn't she just say she didn't think about it for months?
Yeah.
It wasn't until several months following that night that we began dating. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
There's so many like weird contradictions here.
Yeah. I handed the journal back to him and he read it. Maybe he was being dramatic, but it seemed like he was going to fall out of his chair. The biggest grin spread across his face. We both smiled. I continued listening to the speaker on stage while Travis was leaning over his journal. A minute later, he handed it back to me. He had drawn a gigantic smiley face underneath our correspondence. Again, we both smiled. All right.
Later that evening, we decided to escape the mastermind group and went for a walk. We came upon a little park bench against the wall. It seemed to be the only place to sit in the entire casino away from the food court and the crowds. I think that's designed by intention, or intentionally designed, rather. It was already 1 a.m. and the end of the building was empty. We sat down and talked for hours. Two things in particular will always stay with me about our conversation that night. One, he told me that he had always believed that nobody should ever sell themselves short by settling for mediocrity. Not in relationships, not in careers, and not especially, because especially would be the correct word, she says, and especially not in the pursuit of dreams. Soon, okay, that's an I. I soon learned that such philosophies and forward thinking were typical and characteristic of Travis. Now, the problem I have with this paragraph, besides the spelling, using specially, that's like someone saying I was scared. Scared is not a word, people. It's either afraid or it's scared. All right, so
what? People actually do that?
People actually use the word scared. I was scared. It's not scared. It's afraid or it's scared. There is no scared. Anyways, but people use the word specially instead of especially. Besides that, she goes on, two things in particular will always stay with me, and she mentions one. What's the other one? Oh, wait, it's the next paragraph. Damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So paragraph construction, you got to move that back.
I mean,
up.
if you have 2 points to make, that's in the same paragraph.
Yes, exactly. That's the purpose of the paragraph, lumping thoughts together.
Yeah. Oh, and folks, remember we are dual streaming, and our respective stream is pinned on the top of the chat. So pop over to the other one, give a thumbs up, spend 5 minutes, and then pop back. That way, it registers with the YouTube algorithm. If you just pop over, press like, and jump back over, then you have to spend some time, I think.
Yeah, you got to spend a little bit of time watching. You might need a new husband if he still says scared. I have a friend that he's like the wild, crazy fat guy that you bring to parties, and he's just he's like the kind of guy he'll do something really dumb and then ask me afterwards if that was really dumb, and it always is. But he says scared. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. It's not a scared. Anyways, all right. Second one is yours, Nick.
Yep. The second thing I will always remember was his inquiry of my religious and spiritual beliefs. I knew by that point that he was Mormon, but I knew nothing of the Mormon faith. I had always thought it was just another Christian denomination, hardly distinguishable from the others. Up until that point in my life, I had run the gamut of other religions, weighing carefully each one, taking bits of truth along the way. At the time Travis posed the question, my own spiritual beliefs were not the most harmonious with certain traditional Christian doctrine. So I decided to approach the subject in a delicate manner. I deliberately remained somewhat broad and general, though truthful, saying that of some things I am certain, but I don't have all the answers. I was still searching and seeking, considering all possibilities. He was silent and seemed to be contemplating what I had said and what to say next. And after a moment, he said, quote, well, the best answer you could have given was, I'm Mormon. The second best answer was what you just said, end quote. That sounds like a sales pitch.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, Latter-day Saints is kind of a recruiting kind of religion.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. So whatever she had said, that would have been the second best. That comment struck me as arrogant. Another trait I quickly found to be characteristic of Travis, but it was a trait that was well mediated by a refined sense of humor, self-confidence, and charm.
I feel like I can be arrogant, but in a humorous way, so that people don't know I'm being rude to them.
Yeah, I mean, it's called diplomacy, where you verbally rip someone's arm off, beat them with a bloody end, and they still say thank you after.
I know. That's the way to do it, right? That's
Yeah.
if you can metaphorically rip somebody's arm off and beat them over the head with it, and they still and they thank you for doing it.
Yeah.
That's how cult leaders are born.
Yeah, that too. As
or streamers.
Laura Wellow, what's her face? Laura Wellow. A trial that was some time ago. The Mormon dissident who killed kids.
Oh, Lori Vallow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
aren't most religions recruitish? Except for the Jews. I don't think they recruit much.
They kind of want to be left alone.
Well, there's the passages in is it Acts? I think it's Acts, the book of Acts in the Bible that basically tells Christians that they need
the Bible.
There's a book called Acts, and you're not religious. I know that because you're just born Swedish, but it basically compels Christians to go forth and spread the good news, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
It's also probably in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You know those gospels as well, but so that's why a lot of Christians do that, and not a lot of other religions do.
Yeah, but she's very, very detailed in a way that I think she makes a lot of this up.
Jews don't believe in heaven, so I don't believe your comment. Acts of the Apostles. That's the total.
Acts. Okay, Acts, not Acts. Yes. Okay, Acts. Okay, yeah, that Acts and Acts are very
Acts of the Apostles. Acts. I don't know how to say it. How am I saying it wrong?
Acts, ACTS with CSK. Acts, not.
It needs context.
Not AXTE.
I was watching the Fanny testimony. Highly educated professionals. Ask me a question. It's like, oh my god. It's like a scared. It's
cluster. What? And I don't get how people. I mean, maybe laypersons think she did great. I thought it's appalling. You don't act that way.
You don't act that way.
No. I mean, you don't. You're an officer of the court. The moment you step inside that door, you conduct yourself accordingly. And she just ran in. I'm gonna testify. No, just no. And if that is how she ran the office, all of a sudden I understand the Young Thug trial.
I don't like the way she writes. I don't like the way Jodi writes. I'm just going to say it outright. A week after we met, he invited me to accompany him and some friends to church in Merida, California, I guess. I don't know. Those names in California cities are weird to me. I accepted. And that following Wednesday, on his way back to Mesa, Arizona, we met at Starbucks in Palm Desert, California, a city where I lived at the time. I was there. It was there that he gave me a copy of the Book of Mormon. I remember that day very clearly. We were sitting at the table outside in the shade. Napoleon next to us on a leash, as he was holding a hardcover copy of the book in his hands. I remember the silver CTR ring. What's a CTR ring on his? Oh, is that a Mormon thing on his right middle finger?
CTR control.
I don't know.
Test rectum. I don't know.
I was thinking of another ring that she may or may not have purchased at Walmart later on in their relationship.
Choose the right. Thank you, Toy.
I was thinking of a WWJD, but okay. He seemed to be searching for the right words. He finally said,
I'm sticking with control the rectum ring.
Okay. He says, just read the introduction. And then when you have time, read the testimony of Joseph Smith. By the way, Joseph Smith, if you guys don't know Michigan history, Joseph Smith had a rival. His name was Jesse James Stagg. And when they were both heading west, they were both dueling for control of the Mormons. And Jesse James Stagg went north into Michigan and established a colony on Beaver Island and declared himself king. And then Joseph Smith went out to Utah. By the time he called the next day, I was several chapters into one nymph. I'm just going to call it Nymph, the first book of the Book of Mormon. I continued diligently investigating the church, utilizing a wealth of resources. In the ensuing weeks, I found, to my great surprise, that my beliefs were very much in harmony with the Mormon doctrine, the same doctrine that distinguished the Mormon church from other churches. On November 26th, 2006, she's very specific with these dates, by the way.
Yeah.
Travis baptized. Oh, well, she remembers that day.
Yeah.
Baptized in Palm Desert. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, maybe we'll get to it in this. 1 week later, I was confirmed as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life and one of the best decisions I ever made. Now, I don't know if we're going to get into this. I don't know. It's not really a spoiler because we covered it. On November 26th, 2006, after the baptism, we'll just say that it was the first time Jodi opened the back door and let Travis in.
Yeah. And as she described it, she was totally in sync with the Mormon doctrine, as in, don't have sex. She got baptized, and immediately after, donkey, 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 the back door.
That night, he baptized, Travis baptized her twice.
Yeah. Well, she was quite experienced at that time. She even had a lube of choice. Oh God.
Jodi, I so want to interview her.
Yeah.
I so want to interview her. All right. Next one is yours. This is great. We're going to do this until we read every single word in this manifesto, right? That's the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. This is going to be the next several Jodi streams.
Yeah. I mean, we are an hour in. We are on page
4.
What? Page
Bottom
4.
Of page 4.
I mean, yeah, we've been doing Jodi Arias. No, not literally, but since I think we had a first stream May 20th of last year, and this latest Miss Violet La Toilette, what's her face? Oh, it's so boring. I understand, because we had a bit of a decline in viewership the last. More or less since we started with the therapist. First, the sex therapist, who was at least a bit entertaining. But this woman is absolutely. I understand why people don't want to watch it.
Vielhammer, I'm sending you a link if you want to get in here and utilize your lovely lady voice for any of this commentary. If you don't, no worries. But if you do, jump on in.
Yeah, if you can.
I send it to you in Discord, by the way.
Oh, by the time Christmas 2006 had arrived, Travis had grown to mean very much to me. His propensity for generosity found a sure outlet through gift giving. He was determined to Mormonize me. That Christmas, I didn't think they celebrate. Do they celebrate Christmas? Yeah, maybe.
That's Jehovah's Witnesses do not, but I believe Mormons do.
Okay. That Christmas, I received from him a complete set of scriptures with my name engraved on them, a CTR ring, a framed copy of Families, a proclamation of the world by the first presidency of the church, a framed picture of Jesus Christ. No, you that is very hard to have a framed picture. It might have been a drawing or a depiction, but it was not a picture of Jesus Christ.
I prefer Black Jesus. He's the one that hangs on my wall.
I mean, come on, folks. He was Jewish from the Middle East. He was not white.
Did you know that there's a group called Jews for Jesus? I didn't know this.
Yeah.
They don't call themselves Christian, but they follow the Christian teaching, and they're called Jews for Jesus. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, they proclaim that Jesus was the last prophet of sorts, and they follow that new doctrine, but as Jews.
Yep.
Not as in he is the Messiah who will change everything, but as the last prophet.
Yeah, which I believe that was more probably closer in line with what Jesus' original intent was.
I have no idea. I wasn't there. I have no idea of his intentions. It wouldn't be admissible in a court of law. It would be hearsay. Don't you think? It would be hearsay?
Yeah, definitely hearsay. Although the utterer is not available to testify, so there are some exceptions that apply.
Okay. we have to have some law in this. Let's see. Frame picture of Jesus Christ, a CTR decal sticker, and a book entitled "Go Forward with Faith," which is a biography of Jordan B. Hinckley, plus a host of other unrelated items. Those are not gifts. That's the beginner's package of Mormonism he handed to you. But sure, it was a gift. He nearly topped himself the following Christmas. 2007. He bestowed me with a BYU football shirt.
BYU?
BYU. Boston, Yale University. I have no idea.
BYU. Oh, that's isn't that a college out in, I don't know.
I have no idea. Scripture markers, a hymn book with my name engraved on it, and a full CD set of LDS church hymns and LDS children's songs. Not to mention a plethora of other items such as clothing, books, etc. Yeah, that okay. What? Brigham Young University. Okay.
I accidentally closed down my thing, my PDF.
But no worries, because we have Vielhammer.
Hello.
Hello.
Come on with the perfect voice for Joe. Hello.
Hello.
I hear there
How are
is
you,
some,
sir?
I'm good. I hear there is some spice. Potentially.
Just a little bit.
Not yet. It's Jodi Arias Manifesto in case she became famous. She wanted her story, and she uses a lot of words that sounds intellectual,
but they don't exist.
Yeah.
I mean, she knows how to use words, but maybe not in the correct context. This is a 2008 blog post from somebody who tries to be important.
That's exactly what it is.
That is what I have gathered thus far.
Thank you. Did you want to read some? Because we've got another paragraph coming up, which I find is interesting. This next paragraph, because of, first of all, when do we know the date that she wrote this? Is it signed at the bottom or anything?
It was after the first interview, so this must have been while she was in prison.
Right. I'm thinking more like
2009, 2010, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Because first of all, she doesn't mention at all the backdoor action, the HRA, as I like to call it, from the date of November 26th, the date that she was baptized.
Yeah, this must have been before. Sometime, unless she actually talks about it, this was still when Ninjas did it.
Yeah, I think so. Probably. She'll probably get into that. But this next paragraph calls into question a little bit of her truthfulness. Vielhammer, if you want to read it.
The during paragraph?
Yeah.
During that time.
During that, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to come up with a voice for Jodi. During that time, the 2006 Christmas season, there was definite mutual attraction, but we were in no way officially dating. Yet somehow...
Wait. I got 2 comments. That is the perfect fucking voice for this.
Yeah, that's perfect.
There was definitely mutual attraction, but there's no way we were officially dating. Later, she will testify to the HRA that took place just a few weeks before.
And what's the HRA? Like, I see
hot
people
rear
asking.
action. That's anal sex. So
got it.
The definition out of the way.
This slightly entitled high school voice. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, HRA is hot rear action for everyone.
And John, you should be familiar with that. Yet somehow, each time I went on a date with someone, Travis always managed to make me feel guilty about it. To my knowledge, we had always been plain and open with each other, so there was no reason to keep such things from him. But out of tact and respect, I withheld certain details, like the HRA. We finally decided to make things official on February 2nd, 2007. From that point, a succession of road trips between Mesa and Palm Desert began between the two of us, as well as plans to fulfill our mutual passion for traveling. We decided that we were going to see every site in the county that was significant to our church's history. In the county, not the country, the county. We started in Missouri, and over the next several months, we traveled to Illinois, Ohio, New York, and Utah.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Later testimony, they were already dating with the double baptism, which was November of 2006. And yeah. So this is clearly somewhere. I'm not sure if I was never there or Ninjas did it. It might actually be before Ninjas did it, or might be before she started to admit Ninjas.
No, she was arrested already, and so when she was arrested, that's when she talked about the ninjas.
Okay.
That was during the police interrogation before she was even transported back to Arizona, I believe.
Yeah, and it's definitely before she claimed abuse, because this so far not a mention about he was abusive from more or less day one. Where have we heard that before? Yes, Amber Heard. Once she didn't get what she wanted, he was abusing me. Yeah.
She was the OG.
Yeah. Jodi Arias. I mean, there's so much original from this trial. She's the original Amber Heard. We have the origins of the Believe All Women movement through that Violet La Toilette woman.
Yep.
I mean, so many things came out of this trial.
Yeah.
One time we decided to meet halfway in Ellenburg, whatever, a small town situated on the California-Arizona border on Interstate 10. We spent 2 days held up in a hotel room, leaving
Hold
only
up.
Hold
up. She wrote hold
The
up.
irony.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. That's awesome. Yes.
Oh,
Hold.
that was a
hold
Freudian
up.
slip, if anything.
She was definitely holed up in a hotel room, leaving only to dine at the neighboring truck stop restaurant and to catch a movie. Prior to arriving at the movie theater, we came to a stop sign where there was a homeless, dejected woman. How do we know that she was dejected? Holding a sign made from a dirty scrap of cardboard with words that were barely legible scribbled on it. We pulled up next to her, rolled down the window of the passenger's car, the passenger side where I was sitting, and Travis leaned over and asked the woman if she was hungry. She said yes. And with that, we turned the car around and drove to the Wendy's where he bought the biggest meal on the menu and a large soda. He drove back to where she was standing and we handed her the hot meal. She responded with a short thanks because she just wanted the money because she probably had a house around the corner. And it took, and taking the food and her sign, she found a seat on a nearby rock and began to greedily slurp down the soda. That was just one of so many countless times Travis exhibited Christ-like charity. It reminds me of the scripture on the New Testament, Matthew 25:40. I love when people quote scripture and then you actually go and look it up and it's not at all what they're talking about. And so much as ye have done, unto one of the least of my brethren, ye have done unto me. That's the worst way of saying it. Okay.
Yeah.
That is the King James, I believe. And that's
Yeah.
not the entire thing either.
No, it's not.
And that's 2540 is actually the king will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me.
Correct.
There we go.
Yeah. So she's misquoting. But that might be, no, that's the New Testament. And no,
Yep.
Well, it's in as much as you, yeah.
That's the Book of Mormon's version of it. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, I dropped my mic.
The morning we were set to part ways from Ehrenberg and return home, we had breakfast. Travis, after having listened to all the women he'd been with, an impressively long list, though not necessarily slept with, said, right now, everyone thinks you're just another victim. The comment was a little unsettling, but I didn't inquire further about its meaning. I'm so grateful for the experiences that we were able to share, and I will always treasure those memories. From the breathtaking expanse of Adam on the Man, to the charm of Nauvoo, to the quiet reverence of the sacred grove, where little green glowing fireflies dot the air at dusk. While we were in the sacred grove, we parted for a brief period of time for silent, peaceful reflection and prayer. When we found each other again, Travis told me he'd knelt down to pray just the way he'd always imagined that Joseph Smith did when he received the first vision.
It was the middle. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, now think of the testimony in the trial. There's not much of that in this, and I do believe she is more honest here than in her testimony.
Yeah.
Vicky asked, did I recite that from memory? No. I Googled it. Sorry.
It was the middle of spring 2007 when Travis discovered the 1,000 Places to See Before You Die by Patricia Schultz. He was appalled to learn that he had only seen 11 out of those 1,000 destination points around the globe. I didn't exactly trump that with only 7 out of those 1,000 places. We set out to conquer the book. It would be a lifetime pursuit. Teaming up with some friends, we started at the Grand Canyon, and then Sedona, where we explored vortices, visited a Buddhist shrine, and had lunch on the river with the same paradisiacal? That doesn't even sound right. That doesn't look like a real word. Backdrop that has adorned calendars and the like since the dawn of photography. Coinciding our visit to the Kirtland Temple in Ohio, we made a stop in Cleveland to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and then Niagara Falls and the Finger Lakes in New York, all of which were on the list. Traveling with Travis was like traveling with your own personal comedian, serenader, and philosopher. There was never a shortage of laughter, nor song, or stimulating conversation on a variety of subjects.
What is the purpose of this, that she's writing this?
She actually said those exact words from the traveling with Travis was like a traveling with your own personal comedian, and there was never a shortage of laughter. She said those exact words in her testimony.
Vortices is vortex of sorts.
To
I
what
have
end
no
does
idea what
this
that is.
serve anything?
It almost
I'm
seems like this is like a template as to like she's laying out her thoughts. And like, so when she testified, because this is the order in which she testified as well, like these are the exact topics that she touched on, and then she just started sprinkling the good stuff to make it more saucy. It almost seems like she's preparing herself for what is coming.
You think her attorney took this and would just like formed questions off of it to ask her? Because this,
yeah, maybe. And then
sprinkle in
add-ons
the HRA and the other,
Pop rocks.
up against a tree and things like that.
Yeah.
And John Commune, member for 1 month over at Dave's place. Move over, Moroni. Mormons have a new holy angel.
Nice.
The patron
Marriage.
saint of holes.
Yeah. Marriage was frequently and openly discussed. We both knew things would either go one way or the other, so we never bothered dancing around the issue. Yeah, it kind of does go, I guess, one way or the other, right?
Yep.
We also discussed things like family structure and babies' names. We never agreed on baby names. Travis was going to name his girls Reagan, Megan, Irish, and Hinckley. Is that a girl's name?
Hinckley? That's an odd name.
And there would be no compromise.
I mean, he would have 3 favorite girls and 1 for the bullying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like Irish. Megan's okay. Hinckley, is that a girl's name?
I've never heard that name before.
Well, I've heard it as a last name, but not as Reagan and Hinckley. Are those presidents?
Apparently they make yachts. Hinckley yachts.
Okay.
Wait, where was I? Hinckley. Oh, there was no compromise. See, that's the thing. Like, if you're discussing marriage and family life and baby names and there's no compromise, this isn't going to work. When he referred to the future, however, he always included me. He used terms like we, us, our, etc. It would be kind of rude to just say when later on in a few years when I'm doing this and you're doing something else. To me, this was a normal, natural progression. Despite our progress, there was one rule put in place by Travis from the very beginning. His ex-girlfriend, Dina, could in no way find out about us. Now, of course, she would eventually, but according to him, the latter or the later, the better. He said that if she found out, she would freak out, and he did not want to deal with her emotional meltdowns each time he made an attempt to move on and date somebody else. But it wasn't solely because he didn't want to deal with her drama and interrogation, but as he put it, it was also because he genuinely cared and loved her deeply, and he did not want to hurt her. He often worried about her future prospects for marriage. and if she would ever find happiness. At times, he worried so much that he would include her in our prayers together. That seems weird.
That's really weird. And if I remember correctly, she moved on quite fast. And I mean,
Yeah, but remember, there was testimony that he would also allow his exes to continue to be in his life, right? I think
Yeah.
that was testimony from some of his friends. So he can never let
Mm.
somebody go, which was
Yeah.
really weird.
yeah, yeah, always have a booty call, maybe.
Yeah.
Why bring up the ex to your current girlfriend in such a way unless you were like getting a kick out of it, right? It's a little thrill. I don't know. It's just weird.
Making jealous so they would do more. I don't know.
Yeah.
If this even is correct, we actually don't know. We only have Jodi's word for it.
It's all drama. Well, it's not just Jodi's word with regard to Travis keeping the exes around. That was testified by a lot of people. But very weird. It's all drama. I agree. This is all drama.
It was clear that his love for her was great, and that although he had moved on, he wanted to preserve their friendship. But above all of that, he hoped that she would find happiness. I was very understanding of this, as I had been in a similar situation in the past. What I found to be somewhat amusing was that this attitude towards Diana continued even after we broke up. On a few occasions, when she came over to his house while we wasn't there to wait for his return, we had been out running errands. When I dropped him off, I nearly had to keep the car rolling as he jumped out, all covert, lest Diana see us. To me, it was as entertaining as a sitcom to watch him juggle and struggle to keep the various aspects of his life from overlapping. It is true that I had very little sympathy for the stress this caused him, and it was he who had chosen to live his life in that manner.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just sounds crazy.
Yeah.
In May 2007, I decided to move out of my home in Palm Desert because I could no longer handle the mortgage. At this inevitability had been on the horizon for some time, there was already a discussion of me moving to Mesa. Travis wanted to have me nearer, but again was worried, saying when Deanna finds out, however, it will be World War III. I felt that I had been very tolerant and understanding given the circumstances up until that point. However, something just seemed off, not only about that situation, but about many things. In spite of Travis's objections, I followed my intuition and I moved to Big Sur, California. He was not happy about the additional distance between us, even though we still saw each other on our trips together. So we began making plans for me to move to Mesa.
Before I
this I could no longer handle the mortgage. Okay, that might be her home in Palm Beach, which the dad referred to when he said she racked up so much credit card debt. So that was not the house she shared with her previous boyfriend. This was the house in Palm Desert.
I thought that was the house that they had together. That was the one that she couldn't handle the mortgage on. Was the one that they had together.
Okay.
Yeah, but I believe the mortgage was in his name, and she was supposed to pay like half of it, and she never could. But I still think it was in his name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I proceed with this timeline of events, I want to make it clear to the reader that it is not my intention to malign the character of anybody in any way. We all have faults and weaknesses, and up to this point, I have been very careful to protect Travis's reputation and my own. I am in no way proud of my conduct, nor my decisions, which have not only indirectly led to my present set of circumstances. Yeah, I think they have, but have affected countless people on many levels. I make record. Wait, hang on. I make record of this now because the nature of my relationship with Travis has been and will continue to be under scrutiny. It would be futile now to attempt to conceal such details and unrealistic to expect that our relationship will not be further probed and the results made publicly available. In addition, these are matters that will be discussed, examined, and cross-examined, and I do not wish to wait for due process, okay, until I am to be unbound of that which I have made the mistake of trying to bear alone. Oh my God, the way she writes. Please keep this in mind as I disclose the following details, titillating details, to which very few individuals have been privy.
Too long didn't read. We haven't read all of this. This is completely new. I have not read this, so I can't give you a TLDR. This is Jodi Arias Manifesto in case she became famous. And I'm assuming she's trying to explain herself in some shape or form, and not in the way she presented in court.
This is written 4 years at least before the trial.
Yeah.
And the trial was all about self-defense and how horrible Travis was. But that was not the defense that she and her attorneys were taking up until like a few days before the trial. Yeah. So it'd be really curious to see what these sassy details are that she's about to reveal.
It was no secret that Travis was very flirtatious. He was open about it. It was part of his charm. I did not consider it to be the most model behavior, but my own conduct was far from spotless in the same department. Ow! Hello, Mr. Jingles. Say hi to my ginger pussy. There was one incident in particular that summer of 2007 gave me cause for concern. I could have just been imagining things, but there was something about the way he conducted himself that day that caused me to question his level of commitment to our relationship.
I voiced my concerns to him in a calm, delicate manner, anticipating that he would dismiss my worries at the very least and then check his behavior in the future. But instead, he became very defensive. The conversation did not seem to be headed down a path of resolution, so we dropped it. I'm not claiming to have any greater intuitive capacities than the next person, but I have been in enough relationships to recognize the dreadful and distinctive feeling that invariably accompanies unfaithfulness. Those are a lot of big words for her. I had not directly accused Travis of anything, yet he was adamant in his own defense. I left it alone, but I could not shake the feeling. Girl, just shake it off.
Shake it
calm
off.
And delicate.
Shake it off.
Yeah. Yeah, I have some reservations for her being calm.
One day I took it upon myself to read a text message in his phone. So to either invalidate or substantiate my instinct. My justification was that I had the right to know. I'm not saying it was right. I fully expected to find flirtatious messages. What I found was that and much, much more, including several references of separate intimate rendezvous with various girls that had taken place, as well as plans in making future for future associations of the same kind. What? For future associations of the same kind. That doesn't make any sense. All right. I check the dates, hope to find a way to excuse all of this. But as feared, they were all well within the time frame of when we began dating exclusively. Although I was shaking and my heart was racing as the result of this discovery, I decided to remain calm. I didn't freak out. I didn't even tell him, partially because I knew it was wrong to go about investigating in such a manner, even though a part of me felt justified. See, she's snooping, and she has a history of snooping and doing this kind of stuff. She testified to it with like all of her exes.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if there was truly flirtatious comments or if it was something like for example, without getting personal, my ex was always concerned when I
Yeah,
would
sure,
go to
not
these
personal at
networking
all.
groups. But she was like, "Oh, you're out and about." I wasn't home or whatever. I was at networking events growing my firm. So I invited her to come with me. And at these networking events, you got to talk to people. You got to network. That's the whole point of it. And so I'm talking with a few people, and then afterwards, she's there and she's like, "Oh, she was hot." I'm like, "Whatever. I'm talking to people. I'm networking, right?" Is that what's going on here? I have a feeling that's what's going on here with Jodi.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, he did this prepaid legal. Of course, he's talking to a lot of people.
Yeah, you gotta sellers be selling, right? And so I have a feeling a lot of this is her insecurities, also probably a lot of projection, right? Because this is what she would do because she's a cheater. And so she expects others to be doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I mean, we said it before, and we might repeat it. She is the type of woman who lines up the next boyfriend before she breaks up with the current, because she cannot be alone, because she has no personality. She has to adapt to the new boyfriend before she leaves her previous boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yes, Jung
Even
and Stray can talk about that.
Yep. Yeah, young and straight. I would like to have them discussing Jodi Arias on the stream.
We've discussed. It's fun having those two in Discord when we do watch parties and stuff because they sound exactly the same and they talk exactly the same. It's a lot of fun.
All right. One thing I did know was that we had bought and already paid for vacation on the other side of the country, less than 2 weeks away, that was rapidly approaching. I decided it would be best to just try and get through the next few weeks before making any decisions as how I was going to rock the boat. It did not turn out to be the best course of action. Holding it in made me miserable, saying nothing when Travis asked me what's wrong wasn't fair to him either. Not only was I hurt and felt betrayed, I was feeling guilty over my investigative ways, and because in a sense I had betrayed him too. Finally, on June 29th, 2007, she's really specific with dates.
Yeah, she is, but only when she needs to be.
Yeah. June 29th, 2007, it all came out. That was a rough day for both of us, and it officially marked the end of our relationship as we knew it.
We each had reasons to be ashamed of ourselves. We were both hurting, and we both had violated each other's trust on a deep level. That HRA action. I told him that it was obvious neither of us were ready for a relationship, not of the kind we had been fooling ourselves into thinking that we had. It was especially hard because he asked me to stay and marry him, promising things would be different. I used to wonder what it would have been like if I instead had accepted his proposal, but I do not think his behavior would have changed. I will explain this why a little later in this composition. Prior to this heartbreaking chain of events, the proposal would have likely been joyfully accepted. However, by then the trust was shattered. And when there is no foundation of trust, rebuilding is a slow and arduous process. Wounds were too fresh. I felt like we needed a little time to heal. Forgive him? Of course I would. It is commanded of me. Not only that, but harboring resentment requires too much precious energy. Breakups are never easy, but each one prior to this has served to make me a little bit stronger and wiser. This was no exception. As hard as a day that was, I'm grateful for the experience and how it added to my strength and wisdom.
It sounded like you were like almost crying. It was perfect. When all of this occurred, my impending move to Mesa was nearly finalized. But given this new set of circumstances, I hesitated, exploring other options. Travis, however, can be a very persuasive man. And at the hand of his persuasion, I'm just thinking of so many innuendos. I folded and decided to follow through with the move.
Did he have a bowling grip with that hand?
That's
That's
what I was
exactly what I
thinking.
was thinking of.
This is where you grab them by it, you know?
Gentlemen, how do you carry Jodi Arias? With 3 fingers. I folded it and decided to follow through with the move. Although I had suggested that we keep things just things at a just friends level, we hardly possess the discipline to keep it that way. You know why? Because you were willing and he's a guy.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. But in order to avoid fielding too many questions from others, we kept our private lives behind closed doors because he was embarrassed of you.
Closed bedroom doors, not closed doors. She actually points out closed bedroom doors.
Bedroom doors.
Yeah.
Okay, closed bedroom doors. This arrangement worked out well for both of us. Did it, Jodi? Did it?
Yeah.
Did it work out good for him?
Well, only one of her previous boyfriends are dead, so
We remained just friends in the eyes of our friends. At times, his various roommates were hip to things, but for the most part, they minded their own business, and everyone else was none the wiser. I think it would come out at trial that everyone knew what was going on.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She was a booty call and vice versa. I mean, listening to when she recorded their phone smexy conversations, she initiated those, or at least the one we heard. So, talking in the middle of the night, you could hear on Travis he wanted out and just go to sleep, and then she initiated the schmexy talk. So, yeah. One thing that remained unchanged following our breakup was our mutual passion for traveling. We continued to travel extensively, chipping away at the list of 1,000 places. Keeping pace in our pursuit, we saw 8 more places on the list together over the next 8 months. And she numbers them. The Balloon Fiesta, Albuquerque, New Mexico, where nearly 1,000 hot air balloons launch at dawn, sprinkling the sky with every color of the rainbow. We also had a memorable dinner that weekend. Frog legs, buffalo burgers, and alligator tacos. What the fuck? No. Those
No pop rocks?
no ribbit. I mean, frog legs are a specific thing. I mean, yeah, sure, you can have anything can be eaten in that, but frog legs are kind of a deal.
It's a thing in the South here.
Okay.
It's a thing.
Yeah, but when I think of frog legs, I'm thinking French cuisine, and that's quite specific. I mean, you build up to the frog legs.
Yeah.
But hey, everyone for themselves, I guess. The next night we ate chicken hearts at Tucanos. Our philosophy was the freakier the food, the more fun it would be to retell the experience. All right.
Okay. So are we going to like break these up by a couple at a time?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay. 10,000 Waves Spa, Santa Fe, New Mexico, where they are renowned for their mineral hot baths, which are clothing optional. Although they are community
I need
hot
to
baths,
take notes.
hosting plenty of strangers. Travis had no qualms about jumping right in wearing nothing but his birthday suit. His confidence boosted my own, and I followed suit. There is also some comfort in the anonymity that comes with being in a city far away from home. Plus, we had a reason that we had to do it that way to get the full experience. Route 66.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Albuquerque and Gallup, New Mexico. After having lunch at one of his historic hotels and taking lots of pictures, a nice Jehovah's Witness couple approached us in the parking lot. They cut it short when they discovered that we were LDS.
Cumbers and Toltec Scenic Railroad Chima, New Mexico. Travis had been especially excited about this one because he had never been on a train before. Train ride took us over the border to Ozer, Colorado, and back, all somewhat close to the old stomping grounds of his mission. In addition to that, the aspens, I guess, had all turned. Oh, the aspens, the trees, had all turned to gold, creating a dramatic contrast to the dark greenage. The UFO Museum, Roswell, New Mexico. We got our $5. Really, it's only $5. It was nothing we couldn't experience via Google or from a few good episodes of the X-Files. What a dig at the UFO Museum in Roswell, New Mexico. What? Okay. Carlsbad Caverns, Carlsbad.
I just checked the rates at the 10,000 waves. Best available rate, May 10th, is $425 a night.
Oh,
I'm going next week. What's wrong with that?
Really?
No.
No. Private hot tub suits, $82 per person for 90 minutes.
For what?
Therapeutic massage, $219 for 80 minutes. Oh, they have a cannabis massage for $229.
But you could see all of Jodi's holes for all 90 minutes.
I can do that by going back to day 6, part 2. Oh God.
Just get in the hot tub and just pull that up and you're fine. Same experience.
All right.
Carlsbad. Have you been to Carlsbad? Anyone been to Carlsbad? I want to go there. Geological proof of the existence of a divine mind and creator. Getting there was a challenge. It must have turned to drive while... Oh, it was my turn to drive while Travis slept. Ended up taking us 92.8 miles in the wrong direction. Of course it did, Jodi. Of course you did. You drove 92.8 miles in the wrong direction.
92.8 is very specific.
And it's a ridiculous amount of distance to drive in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
I was scared to wake up Travis and tell him of my blunder. My driving was the subject of 80% of our arguments. Oh my God. You can imagine how bad of a driver she is if that's the subject of 80% of their arguments. He kept his cool though.
Yeah. Let's go to Wendy's. And then, where are we? Mexico?
But Jodi, as she's always concerned about gas, he kept his cool though because we were driving his Toyota
Prius.
That's how you say it. It hardly put a dent in the gas level. She drove 98 miles in the wrong direction. So that is you gotta come back, right? So that's 185 miles that you have to drive to go, I guess 92 miles. I don't know.
Even in a Prius, that takes a dent in the gas.
92 miles in the wrong direction. I'm gonna book a trip to this spa. I'm gonna check it out.
Calman's Steakhouse, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. After driving halfway across the country to get to convention, we rewarded ourselves with a hot, hearty dinner and a delicious dessert. Our server brought us complimentary sample of lamb fries, breaded fried lamb testes. All right, another freaky thing we got to brag about eating. Anasazi Ruins, Chinle, Arizona. This stop stands out for many reasons. It was March 2008. That was just a few months before the Stabby Stabby. That was just 1 month before the Stabby Stabby.
Wasn't it in June?
Was it in June?
Yeah, it was in June. It was June.
Okay.
It was 3 months.
Okay, so 3 months later, she does the Stabby Stabby. This was the last place on the list that I saw with Travis and the last road trip we ever took together. Yeah, I wonder why. That day, when we stopped to buy gas, we got out of the car and were shocked to see that 3 timid, submissive dogs had approached us. They had a patient, pleading look in their eyes. They appeared hungry, starving even, as we could see their ribs through their fur. Even more heart-wrenching was that it was evident one was nursing puppies. We were moved and outraged at their condition, and using the last of our money. This was also the tail end of a trip back from another convention. We bought them all stacks of hamburgers to share. They inhaled them all, as if they had a strong fear of loss, as if their food might disappear before they could get it into their bellies. Still hungry, we emptied the car of all the food we had, beef jerky and sun chips. It wasn't the healthiest meal, but they would have full stomachs that night. Their condition especially disturbed Travis and made him miss his dog Napoleon even more, whom he loved like a firstborn son. He could not wait for us to get back so we could pick him up from Diana's place, where she was gracefully caring for him while we were away. Another covert operation.
Oh dear.
I mean, so he's leaving his dog with his ex.
Yeah.
That happens. But
There's-
it's so dramatic.
Yeah. There's like places you can pay to take them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so wild. We made several other trips as well, some with friends, some just the two of us. We hiked into Havasupai. We saw the Painted Desert and the largest cross in the Western Hemisphere. We almost saw the meteor crater, but we arrived 5 minutes after they closed the gates, which was my fault because we got pulled over for speeding while I was driving.
Of course.
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course.
Our out-of-town excursions were always more fun because we could relax and did not have to worry about being seen together by people that might know us. Travis often expressed concern over this, saying he does not like to be questioned about his personal life by other people. I'm a private person, he would always say. It was quirky, but I didn't mind. We were both single now, or so I thought, and there was a lot of freedom in enjoying each other's company without the obligations and expectations that come from being tied up in a committed relationship. We were comfortable. That, unfortunately, was part of the problem. When people get comfortable, there's often little inclination to change. Why would he change for you? You're not dating.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
I mean, if you're not dating and you... Ta-da! I mean,
she's all but admitting that he didn't want a future with her.
Yeah.
But she writes about him in her journal as if he's the love of her life, and that's a problem. Guys, don't string along crazy ass women because this is what happens.
Yeah. Jodi Arias not only became famous, she became a millionaire while in prison. Yeah. We looked at her paying back the victims and stuff like that was in the thousands. And according to some dubious sites, she's have a net worth of a couple of millions.
Yeah, but that's like saying I'm a millionaire if I grab all the Monopoly money. There's not anything I can do with it. What the hell does it matter? She's still sitting her ass in jail, eating ramen and talking about her girlfriends.
And I mean, I don't know about US prisons, but if you have a considerable wealth, you can buy favors.
Yeah,
but
make it less horrible of a place to live, but you're still in prison.
Yeah.
But if we can help Sal, then maybe Sal can be a millionaire too.
Yeah.
All right. That's
and we can
goal.
make use of the money.
We gotta free up. We gotta make that asset liquid in Sal's possession. That's what
exactly.
That's our goal. I am not proud to say that our relationship became a thing of convenience. It was the closest whole, is what she's saying. Despite the fact that our trust on nearly every level was almost non-existent, one thing that we could trust each other with was safety and discretion. Safety? Really?
Safety?
Can he trust you in his own...
And considering what you claim in court, why would you feel safe around him?
Yeah, that's true as well. I was just looking at this more from Travis's point of view, but yeah. I was by no means the first girl in his life to come along and enable such behavior, but that does not excuse the fact that we both knew better and should have been stronger. It became obvious with time that things were not going to change as long as we lived in such a convenient proximity. So in January 2008, I began to make tentative plans to move back to California. Spending Christmas in Wairika made me realize how much I missed my family and how much I had missed out in the last 10 years in the lives of my brother and sister, Joseph and Angela. So was it because you needed to separate yourself from him, or was it because you missed your family that you were moving back? Because she contradicts herself in the very sentence.
Yeah.
I mean, and according to later testimony, her father was extremely abusive.
Yeah.
Which also I don't see a trace of so far in this.
No, no, none of that has been talked about.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff missing from this.
Let's go. Totally Not a Russian Bot has a question.
Yes.
I would say yes.
Yeah, I would say yes. I'm not reading that one out loud.
We're getting to that. We're getting to the part where she decides to unalive him.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
In fact, the only thing that could have prevented me from moving at that point is if I had somehow met my future husband. I went on plenty of dates with very nice people, but I never found him. Plenty? I don't remember that from her testimony.
I don't either.
As for Travis, I could not have said one way or another. We sort of adopted a don't ask, don't tell policy when it came to our dating lives, though he occasionally bent the rules. Looking back, such a policy was conducive to the way we were accustomed to operating around each other. In fact, the subject of dating only came up a handful of times. 3, maybe 4, and each time, with the exception of one, it was Travis who brought up, usually to tell me he was not dating anyone. I operated under the assumption that he was telling the truth, figuring that when the time inevitably comes, he would tell me or I would hear it from a mutual friend, and it would be no major revelation. The only time I mentioned my dates to him was if he pressed me for an explanation as to why I did not answer my phone or respond to a text message right away.
I mentioned earlier that I did not think that Travis's unfaithful ways would have changed if I stayed with him, even though he promised that they would be different. I later found the reason for my hunch. A few months prior to my move back to California, we decided to have a conversation in which we came clean about everything. I learned that during the time I had been living in Mesa, Travis had a girlfriend, Lisa A. I was a little shocked, not because he had lied about dating someone and had cheated on yet another girlfriend, but because this time I was the other girl. I felt terrible, but I was hardly the victim. I felt bad for Lisa. It seemed to make more sense as to why he was a private person, why we did not talk about our dating lives, etc. Had I known about this, I would have never participated in the kind of activities that I did with Travis. Liar. I would have not stayed the night at his house when he invited me over, nor would I have felt it appropriate to be going on vacations alone together, as fun as they were. The status of our relationship was simple. We were friends with benefits. Our rules for conduct, however, were more ambiguous. My philosophy was as long as we were two consenting adults and nobody was getting hurt, then there was no harm. Ignoring, unfortunately, the potential spiritual harm that can result from such choices. Okay, Jodi.
No, it's just... It's always just this like tangled web of relationships and bullshit.
Yeah.
And of course, my first impulse was to go to Lisa immediately and tell her.
Yeah. But I think that she's used to being the side piece, though. So
Yeah.
Mm.
Not just to appease my guilt, but because if it was me, and it had been in my prior relationships to Travis and other relationships too. Yeah, exactly. Like you said, she's always used to being the side piece.
Yeah.
Mm.
I would want to know. By that time, though, he and Lisa were no longer dating, and Travis had already taken a decided interest in Mimi H. It was water under the bridge. Besides, going to Lisa at that point would not have only caused a lot of unnecessary drama and pain, but would have destroyed our friendship, Mimi's and Travis's.
No, mine and Travis.
Mine, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, mine and Travis. Yeah, I'm sorry. Travis may not have been a good boyfriend, but he was an extraordinary friend. We all have faults, and even when he was at his worst, I never held it against him. Until you did.
And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I could tell by the way he talked about Mimi that he really liked her. I asked him if the feeling was mutual, and he joked that he did not think that she even knew he was male. We laughed. I reminded him of his natural skill for winning over the ladies. He said, "Please, whatever you do, don't give me any dating advice. I get enough of that crap from Sky. I'm sick of it. I can handle this." It was obviously a sore subject. I did not inquire further.
When it was my turn to divulge, things did not go well. I told him some of the dates I had been on, when and with whom, and he became very angry and flew into a rage. These were good people, but he didn't like them for reasons I considered to be purely conjecture of his own mind. The more I tried to calm him down, the angrier he became. I did not understand why he was so upset with me at my attempts to move on, especially since he liked Mimi so much. We were in his bedroom, and I got up to leave, but he held me back. He shut his door, and he said, "No, no, 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 you're not leaving."
Travis only became violent with me on 2 occasions. Is that consistent with her testimony, by the way?
No.
Nope.
I didn't think so. That day was the first time. Both times he refrained from hitting me in the face, but he bruised other parts of my body. What parts? Can you bruise a vagina?
I mean, and here's the thing. She is so detailed when it comes to some things, and here, nope. And I mean,
yeah.
Look, no dates. She knows the exact dates, but all of a sudden, yeah.
So the second time such an incident occurred was 2 days before I moved back to California in April 2008. It was a Tuesday morning, and later that evening, we carpooled to the business briefing in Tampa, Arizona. 2 associates that night accidentally joked, "So what, is Travis beating you now?" when they noticed the dark purple bruises. Where were the dark purple bruises? I don't think she says. They were difficult to hide unless I wanted to dress like it was winter and 95-degree weather. I went along, again, where are the bruises?
Yeah.
I went along with their jokes to protect his reputation. I know it is common for women in abusive relationship to protect their abusers and make excuses for him or her. But this is nothing like that. Travis and I were no longer in that kind of committed relationship, and I was moving in a matter of days. So I was unconcerned about further opportunities for such treatment. I knew that with hundreds of miles between us, there would be none. When things settled down, he was always extremely apologetic. Not after, not just after those 2 incidences, but after any of our arguments, especially the ones about my driving, saying he's just worried about me. Okay, yeah, because you didn't want to be told that you were a shit driver, and you went off on him. And he was like, "All right, whatever. I just want to make sure you're driving safely." I'm not saying that I didn't hurt emotional, or that it didn't hurt emotionally, or that I didn't cry, but his remorse was sincere, and there was no way I could not forgive him. I knew that despite his temper, he cared for me.
I have a theory about those bruises.
Yeah.
That's a person holding the arms, calm down.
Oh, that could be.
That could be, yeah.
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 And that's not being abusive. That is protecting yourself from a woman who uses force.
Yeah.
Great Success says it sounds more like a journal than a manifesto. I actually looked up the word manifesto definition when we first heard about this, because my wife and I got into a debate as to whether or not this was actually a manifesto. So a manifesto is a public declaration of policy or not policy. A public declaration aims. Wait, hang on. Here we go. Let me just pull it up. This is Webster's. A written statement declaring publicly the intentions, motives, or views of the issuer. So I think because this is talking about her views of this whole relationship, that it is technically a manifesto.
True.
We
Can
are
you break your
approaching.
cervix from the inside?
Yeah, we are approaching the 2-hour mark.
Yes. By the way, we're going to redirect to Salvador, as we always do.
Yeah, and let's have Vielhammer read this passage here.
After?
Yep.
Even after I moved to Wairika, Travis and I continued to make travel plans. He was originally slated to come to Wairika in the latter part of May of 2008 to watch me sing the national anthem at the opening of an event held annually to honor the memory of my uncle who passed away some years ago. We were then planning to drive to the Oregon coast to visit Crater Lake, which he had seen when he was younger but wanted to re-experience, and hopefully attend a Shakespeare play in Ashland, all three on the list of 1,000 places. Following that, his plan was to drive to Washington State to see more places and visit some old friends he had been promising to see for quite some time. But the trip was pushed back more than once and was finally rescheduled for the latter part of June of 2008, after he returned from Cancun and prior to his departure to D.C.
Okay.
Lost the place. What page are we on?
We are 13.
Page 13.
13. Yeah.
All right. So we made it through 13 pages of 36. That's actually a lot better than we thought. We could probably wrap this up in another couple of streams.
Yeah.
This is very interesting, though. I'm liking this a lot.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It definitely is interesting.
Yeah, because it's so much inconsistencies with her testimony in the trial. And there are inconsistencies in how she writes. And the more I think about the bruises that she can't hide, it looks at arm bruises, and the bruises, that's a person holding somebody back.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no, I think that is consistent, but she never freaking describes the bruises.
Yeah.
Describe the bruises. Where are they? This is your
I mean, she
manifesto.
describes how she drove, what was it, 98.2 miles in the wrong direction. I mean, she knows how to describe things.
But she could describe that she can't cover the bruises unless she dresses like it's winter. What does that mean? Does that mean turtlenecks? Does that mean long sleeves? What are you trying to say?
To be fair, in Phoenix, when people dress in winter in Phoenix, like, it is kind of a disaster because they all, like, it's like 60 degrees outside and they're all wearing like winter coats and stuff. So
I guess.
Yeah.
This is very fun. I like this a lot.
I mean, you get somewhat of an insight. I don't think we can trust everything she writes here because she is a lying liar who lies. But it does give some insights in how she adapts to the situation she believes she's in.
Yeah.
At this point in time, she's adapting to what happened during the interview. And then a few years later, whoopsie, this will not go well during the trial. And she adapted to that too.
I want to know what interview this is too, because that might give us some context as to why she's writing this and why she's writing it the way she is.
Oh, true. Because she did a bunch.
But it said is it the first interview? Let's go back here and see. No, it says following a recent interview. Yeah.
Well, we're just gonna have to watch all of her interviews then and figure it out.
Yeah, and we will eventually. We will watch.
Well, because she quotes the investigator, the interviewer at one point that says, "It sounds like you two were very much in love," in reference to Travis and me. A bold statement, I thought, and I almost responded with, "It sounds like you're looking for a dramatic story." But I held my tongue as he was very polite. All right, so we know it was a he, and tactful. I could understand how he might draw such a conclusion. I could understand. Let's see. Okay, so it was a guy that was interviewing her and talking about.
Because the first one, I'm pretty sure was a female.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Now let's see here. Cool. Yeah.
Guys, don't forget Lego stream tonight.
Yep, Lego stream at 9 p.m. Eastern, is it?
Yep. Sean, Potentially Criminal, Valhalla, Wendy H, and myself. And I will be building Nick's studio. That's the plan anyways. We'll see how it turns out.
Okay, let's see here. You won the likes, 57 to 52. But
I'm always good with that. You can get everything else. I just want the likes.
I got a membership from Vince Claw, though.
Nice.
But no super chats. Maybe because nobody wanted us to skip ahead.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah, I know. Dave always wins. This is getting a bit disheartening because Dave has stopped streaming. And
that's why they're here, because this is the rare chance that they get to interact with
you.
See,
okay.
You build up. I could charge a higher price because of the scarcity that is me.
Oh, yeah, sure. And have everybody subscribed to Vielhammer Media yet? Do we have?
You guys all need to.
I have a lot going on today.
Well, whatever you got going on today, you all need to go subscribe to Vielhammer Media. He's got awesome content. And I know Vielhammer and I talked about doing a stream together, and I'm still up for it. If he is, we'll just work it out.
We'll figure that out. Yeah. But yeah, I have more. If you want more voice things, that'll be with Sal next. And then I think it's EU after that. And then tonight, before the Lego stream at 6 Eastern, Mo and I are doing more legal ridiculous theater, where we're going to laugh at Sarah Boone and finish that up.
Oh, okay. She can do something similar to this. Nice.
It's kind of like the Mystery Science Theater thing where we basically just roast her for however many hours. So we started it last week.
Yeah, I like that setup with you see you in silhouette looking at the screen and just garbaging away.
Yep.
That's actually really fun. No, I mean we need to get you monetized. We really do.
Yep.
Yes.
Because
everyone listening to this now or in the future needs to go subscribe to Vielhammer.
Yeah, and the link is in the description below this stream, and you have to. If you like me and Dave, you need to subscribe to Vielhammer Media. It's a requirement from now on. But yeah, 205. We are going for. You are being redirected to Sal. And
I said hi.
Yeah, tell everybody we said hi and that I really like his impersonation of my voice, and I look forward to discussing it with him on occasion. Oh, all right. See you all later. Bye-bye.
See you, everybody.
State of Arizona versus Jodi Arias, verdict, count 1. We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn in the above entitled action upon our oaths, do find the defendant as to count 1, first-degree murder.